Hi, Robin. This is just for you. It's funny. If I can't say that I didn't see your messages because I have, but did I need to answer them? I'm trying not to go into anything because I don't want to. Well, I don't want to embarrass myself for one, but I also don't want to be dishonest and say, "Oh, I missed your messages." No, I saw them. I only see the first couple words. I didn't actually click on them and actually read them. Do I need to? No, because technically we don't know each other. Probably would never see each other. We have no real connection. So if I just fell off the face of the earth tomorrow, would that be the end of it? Right? That's kind of how it's supposed to be when you kind of leave somewhere and you don't tell people where you're going or anything. But somebody followed me. So, sorry, the TV is on. That's why the lighting is changing. I'll be pausing you in a minute when the show comes back on. I just finished eating something. That's the only reason I'm able to do this right now. It's a whole long story explanation. I won't bore you with it. But eating makes sense, and when you're trying to make sense of something, you eat. Eating in itself makes sense to the brain. So that's why we do it. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go ahead and do all that. So wow. Actually, it's because of your messages that I'm kind of still hanging in there with some of this stuff. It made me. It's important actually that you were messaging me. I mean, you don't have to keep messaging me. It's not like that, but they meant something. You know. Like I said, I haven't seen any of them. I'm right now recording this video without even ever going to YouTube and even seeing any of your messages. I mean, I've been on YouTube a couple times since I first left the website because I was trying to do exercise, which I also fell off the map on that one. We won't discuss how many pounds I've gained. It's but yeah, but I didn't look at anything, just enough to play the music to try and exercise too. Didn't really work anyway. Oh well. So you're wondering where I am and if I'll be coming back probably. I don't know. I was thinking about coming back to the website, but it wouldn't be until later in October. You see, on the 3rd, I have an appointment, a doctor's appointment. Hang on, I gotta pause you. Okay, I already figured out the whodunit, so it's still on. Anyway, so I have a doctor's appointment on the 3rd. It's the first of 12 appointments that I have to do. I also have this surgery coming up. So I've been kind of taking a break from everything till we find out what's going on. But I miss everybody. I miss the website. I miss chatting with you. Even though you would disappear and then reappear. Oh boy, that was fun. I don't know if I do come back. I'm hoping to, but it'll be later in October. Maybe even November. I don't know. I'm shooting for later in October. Depends upon how these visits go. I won't bore you with the details of all that stuff, but I'm nervous. I really am nervous about these things. And oh my gosh, I had a conversation with you this morning. Well, you weren't here for it, of course. I wish I could record those times. I have a little voice recorder, and I watched a movie the other day, and I talked throughout the movie, talking about my emotional functional theory and everything, and how it relates to different things in the movie, and then I get mad later on because it's like, well, that's a movie though. People aren't, because how many times have I thought about, you know, just watching a show and talking while the show is on and just saying this particular episode, that now other people can know what the episode is, they can watch it, they can actually see what I'm referring to when I refer to certain things. But then people are going to be like, but that's a television show, that's not real. That's true, but it's done by real people. Yes, they're actors, but they are still real people, and they still had to study other people who really did deal with those certain situations, mental health stuff, whatever. And I thought about it, but I don't think so. I don't think it would be. I mean, I think it would be a great idea. I just don't think anybody else would be on board for it. Especially like that show Bones. That's a really good one for being able to show the differences between not just the emotional and functional, but like she's very obviously very functional. But what people don't realize is how much they are like her, only in smaller doses at less often of the time. And how some of the other characters that you would normally think are actually more emotional on that show are actually more functional. Anyway, I know you weren't contacting me to talk about all that stuff. Anyway, though, I just wanted to message you, though, and let you know that I did get your messages and that they're actually pretty helpful for me. Stuff's kind of been tough. I know I wanted to put up more videos, and I made some, but I don't want to say they're embarrassing, but they're not, they're just random things. When I was watching the movie the other day, one of the things I thought about doing was I've got a lot of little memos in my book, or in my phone, I mean. And I thought, what if I just went on one of those websites, like one of those writing websites or something, where I could just like put those little messages, just read one each day kind of thing. But some of them are silly. Some of them are actually on my grocery lists, so that would be kind of funny actually. People will be like, okay, what was the highlight of the day today? Well, it's your milk, eggs, cheese. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, grocery list. So, wouldn't do anybody any good. And I had a few other videos that I recorded that, actually I used my voice recorder. I don't talk. I just lay here just like this and let the voice recorder do the talking, and then my face is just, I don't know. I'm watching TV actually, reading the credits or not the credits, but the captions. I love watching TV with captions. Not only is it nice because it actually distracts the mind back and forth, kind of like how a candle does. Not quite the same way, but when you watch TV in the dark, you're supposed to actually have like a candle or something, because for your eyes, instead of the constant focus, it creates like a tunnel in the eyes. The thinking in the eyes creates almost like a tunnel of viewing, and that's one of the reasons why, like, if you play your phone for a long time and you're looking down and you're looking at that screen, and then you look away and your vision's all blurry, it's creating like a tunnel effect as your eyes just kept focus. So with a candle, it causes the focus to be distracted. So I have to keep looking back and forth because I spend a lot of time looking at screens. Stupid depression. So I do that, looking back and forth. It helps. It also is really cool because there's times where you're watching a movie or show and it's just instrumental. You can see people are like talking, but it's just instrumental. But the captions actually pick up what those people are saying. So, whereas in the actual show itself, regular watching it, you're not hearing anything. There's no actual words. You can see people talking, but no actual words. Now you actually know what they're saying. It's kind of cool. So, oh boy. Well, I will say, I really hope, as far as you're concerned, that the one topic that we were discussing before I left, that you haven't given up on that friend of yours that you were communicating with, the one that went to the museum. Um, I hope you haven't given up on that, because that person may just really need a friend. And I know that sometimes it's tough to step outside of ourselves to help somebody else, because why should you? Do you need to? No, you need to focus on you and where you're going, what you're doing. That's very functional thinking. And whereas it's very important, so is the emotional thinking of being able to help out. And sometimes you do have to just put yourself out there, even if it's in an embarrassing way. I know, I should talk, right? When I started those videos, I was trying to keep my own personal stuff to myself, just because I don't think anybody wants to hear about my personal issues with stuff. Doesn't matter to them. Now, if I say their personal issues, that's a different story. Now it matters. But sometimes you do have to embarrass yourself. Sometimes you do have to share more than you want to. They say follow your heart. Every once in a while, yeah, you do. But yeah, I think your friend really needs some help right now. And I think you could be very helpful to your friend. Maybe going to the museum together. And just remember that just like you are waiting, your brain, the functional part of your brain is waiting for a request, a specific, hey, you need to do this. Person contacting you and saying, this is what I want, this is what I'm requesting of you. Just like you need that in order to make a move, so do they. So if you want them to make a move, you can't just say, hey, la la la. You have to say, hey, I would like to get together this date, this time, and go from there. I mean, you don't have to say it like that, but the idea is you have to be specific when you want to communicate with someone, regardless if they're an emotionalist or a functionalist. We all have times where we're functionalizing, where we are drawing in on ourselves, like wounded animals that pull in on themselves and don't trust and don't talk to anything and don't step outside their comfort zone. We all have times like that. Well, I think your friend is going through that. Even though there are times where they do emotionalize out, it's only in ways that are safe. So, yeah, just like you need the request, so do they. Unfortunately, it's going to kind of require you to do a little bit more of that, which I haven't quite gotten the full handle on things with you, just because there were some things that we didn't cover. But I think that that's something that you can do. And I think it's kind of, how do I put this? Your job. I know it sounds crazy. But everybody has jobs and friendships and relationships. Some people are more givers, some people are more takers. And as long as there is that, the correct, I don't know if that was the TV or someone outside. Anyway, as long as there's the correct give and take back and forth. It's just some people are more giving and some people are more taking. again, it's kind of a more individual thing. I don't know enough about your friend to be able to say yay or nay, but I think your friend is definitely a friendship worth having, and that you should go ahead and do that little extra. Yeah, yeah, sometimes it's embarrassing and puts us on the spot, and and sometimes we can get our feelings really hurt by doing that because pretty vulnerable at that point. But yeah, you're gonna have to do it. And the reason why is because just like when you have a wounded animal and you want them to trust you, you got to put your hand next to them where they could scratch you, they could bite you, they can hurt you. But you've got to put your hand out and let them sniff it. And just, a little bit closer, a little bit closer to get to the petting part. But you got to take that chance of being bit first or being scratched. It's kind of the same idea. Anyway, sorry. I know at one point you said something about asking for help. Again, I only see the first couple words. Whatever comes up on my screen that says someone on YouTube commented, and it just says your name, and then it says a couple words. So at one point it says something about help. I'm assuming it might be with this issue with your friend. If it's not, then I guess when I post this video, I'll probably actually look at the comments. And then I'll be like, oh, I gotta take the video off because it's a completely different thing that you're asking for. Or I'll just leave it on and I'll just send you another video answering that issue. Or I could just actually just type the message, couldn't I? I could just comment back. Don't pay attention to me. There are times I have my moments, I do. Anyway, so before my phone falls on my face, because I actually have it, I have a bunk bed, actually. So this is my bed, but it's not actually my bed currently. It's a long story. Um, I have a bunk bed, and I have the railings above it, and I have my phone, like, situated in the railing. I'm using 2 hair clips. And my phone is backwards in the case so that I can actually, because it's charging right now. And so the cord's on this side over here. And I need the cord to stay over there, or the cord would be passing across. It'd be weird looking. It's also kind of nice too because I can leave my phone case connected to the bed, and I can just pull the phone off the magnet, and then I can use my phone for other things. Some of those games that are addicting, like the connected, not connected, but the swipe over and match 3. That's what it is, match 3 games. Very addicting for people like me. I'll tell you, there's a reason for it. But I won't go into that. I thought of something really good to say this morning. I was making breakfast, having my conversation with you, without actually having a conversation with you, because you weren't actually there, and my phone wasn't recording. Something about anxiety, because I know that was something we had talked about. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh well, if I remember, maybe I'll send you another video about it, or just communicate with you. I'm not ready to come back to the website. When you leave something, you can't just, sometimes the brain has to do all or nothing. And, it's functional. because the functional is the all or nothing side. It's either black or it's white. It's either yes or it's no. It's the other side that's more wishy-washy. But of course, also, whenever you come up with something really good like that, that's usually the functional side talking. It doesn't talk often, but when it does, it says what it needs to say. Anyway, it's enough of that. It's 20 minutes long. Hi, how are you? Hi, Robin, how you been? Takes me 20 minutes to warm up with a smile. It's not important anyway, though. So, like I said, I'll probably be looking at your messages soon, and I'll reply in kind depending upon what the issue is. So, hope everything is well for you. I thought about you a lot in August. I'm sorry I missed that day. I wouldn't have probably been able to anyway because I was banned. It was a good thing I was banned though. Not because of the website, but because of me. You know, sometimes you can't leave until something forces you to. Like years ago, I told my mom the only way I was ever going to move out was if she forced me to. I told her, you have my permission, kick me out. I figured it out. I know what the answer is. And it did. It worked. Anyway, though, yeah, I guess that's it for now. So, I miss talking to you, Robin. And I hope everything's going well in your life, and congratulations on that day. Again, I wish I had been at least online for it. I did say a little prayer for you. It wasn't every day in August, but quite a few of them. Just every once in a while when I get a chance to. So I hope everything's been well. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye, babe.